Welcome in. Thanks for joining us for the WHHI Daily News, where we strive to bring you more Lowcountry news more often. I'm Bob Stevens. The town of Hilton Head is studying how to help future traffic move smoother through its Gateway corridor, but is also addressing how to move the traffic that's already here through the rest of the William Hilton Parkway with its $3 million traffic signal management system that's been in effect since November and claims to be helping traffic get around the island with fewer red light stops and longer green lights inbound in the morning and outbound in the afternoons. The system also features thermal pedestrian cameras to activate lights based on pedestrian traffic. Downtown Beaufort trying to wrestle with its increased exposure to flooding, but not without arguments that a proposed project to alleviate downtown flooding is actually over-designed. Meanwhile, the clock is ticking on using a $9.5 million federal grant for the King Street project by July of 2026 or lose it. That project would require building above-ground pumping structures 10 feet high in the park and a tidal pond that some residents of the area say is not necessary yet, though the area does often flood with just an inch of rainfall at high tide. Some residents say that opening up often clogged stormwater drains would alleviate the problem for now. While the Lowcountry continues to vote early in the congressional primaries that'll culminate on primary election day, June 11th, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has found his way onto the November state election ballot under the Alliance Party banner. He's now either on or close to being on the ballot in over a dozen states, and while he's likely not to win in South Carolina or any of those other states, he could tip the balance in some of the battleground states. Eric Greenway, long gone and now replaced as Beaufort County's day-to-day administrator, but his name lives on in a federal lawsuit filed by former consultant, one-time county director of wellness, Lisa Lynch. She's claiming in a 21-page lawsuit that is only against the county that Greenway's behavior created a hostile work environment that led to her firing. There is no mention of damages sought in the lawsuit that's been filed against the county, again, not against Greenway, though he is mentioned 87 times in that lawsuit. The suit also mentions that Greenway was seeking a romantic relationship with Lynch, and when that was rebuffed, that led to the work environment that she's suing over. And the Lowcountry legend, with arguably as much impact on our area and the nation as Robert Smalls, is getting her due, a 14-foot-tall sculpture in downtown Beaufort that's been 8 years in the making. The Harriet Tubman statue was unveiled over the weekend at the Tabernacle Baptist Church on Craven Street, just a few yards away from Smalls' grave. It was created by Colorado sculptor Ed Dwight and shows a stoic Tubman leading a group during the Combahee River raid that resulted in 3 steamboats of black soldiers attacking several plantations and evacuating 750 slaves. For more details on these stories and other Lowcountry news, we invite you to visit the sources listed on your screen. In sports, well, school is about to let out, but that doesn't keep balls from flying around the Lowcountry. Justin Jarrett has more.
Hey, it's time for Last Night in the Loco on WHHI, powered by LowcoSports.com. Wrestlers from the Lowco were far-flung this weekend with the crew from Reverence Wrestling Club in Orlando for Spartan Nationals and a squad from the Sons of Thunder and Daughters of Zion trekking to Mulvane, Kansas for the Southern Plains Regionals, and both brought home plenty of hardware. May River Sharks star Houston Rudisill, who captured the Class 4A state title as a freshman this winter, claimed the 144-pound crown in Orlando, and out in Kansas, Zane Estrada and Stephano Calderon each swept gold in freestyle and Greco-Roman, while Zane, Chavis, and William Jakeway claimed Greco titles. We'll dig deeper into the results and shout out more Lowco wrestlers tonight on the LowcoSports Lowdown, streaming live at 9 p.m. on the Lowco Media Network. Speaking of wrestling, Beaufort High announced last week that Kobe Peeler will be the Eagles' new head coach this winter, adding to his role on the football coaching staff. While across town at Battery Creek, longtime Bluffton assistant Taria Scott Aiken has been named the Dolphins' next girls basketball coach. And finally, USCB golfer McLean Neal found herself the unsuspecting star of a viral YouTube video this week when she was pulled into a match with the fellows from Good Good Golf and had a good time. We talked with the new internet sensation on Sunday's edition of Sandshark Rewind. Check it out on the Lowco Media Network. Tune in tomorrow for more local sports news from the weekend, including the Palmetto Roadrunners showing in their first AAU track meet of the season, and tonight's season opener for the Beaufort Ospreys, bringing American Legion baseball back to the Loco. For Loco Sports and WHHI, I'm Justin Jarrett. Until next time, go Loco.
For all those games coming up this week and for graduations, the weather forecast, ever so important. Maria Soden has the latest.
Thanks, Bob. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we'll see a few more thunderstorms compared to last week, but the temperature is supposed to be getting into the 90s by the end of this week. So taking a look at Tuesday, it's going to be partly cloudy with Hilton Head having a high of 83, a low of 73, Bluffton's of a high 85, a low of 71, and Beaufort's of a high 86 and a low of 77. The sunrise for Tuesday is going to be at 6:16 and sunset's going to be at 8:26. Taking a look at the tides, high tide's going to be at 8:03 a.m. and low tide's going to be at 3:05 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week, Wednesday is supposed to be partly cloudy and humid with thunderstorms in the afternoon and going into the evening. Highs remain in the 80s, lows in the 70s. Then come Thursday, it's going to be sunny to partly cloudy with a thunderstorm in the afternoon, but should be clearing up by the evening. Highs remain in the 90s, lows in the 70s. And then come Friday, it's going to be sunny with the highs getting into the mid-90s, lows in the 70s. That's it for today. Let's head it back to the desk.
When we come back, we'll visit with Charlie Clark of the Chamber about summertime activities with that organization. Also, it's going to be a busy summer at the Hilton Head Rec Center. We'll discuss that. And coming up next, we'll talk about the Boys and Girls Club. Oh, you think they're not going to be busy this summer? Stay with us.